men and the boys who aspire to become men are in a sorry state. If only there were an organization to encourage boys to strive for goodness, self-mastery, and excellence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Matthew and Carlene channel. Today, we are covering a very sad story about the dismantling of the Boy Scouts. You heard me right. Let's get into it.
Oh, wait! Such an institution already exists, or did until it was dismantled. The Boy Scouts of America, that storied organization that once epitomized the best of masculinity, is no more. It's now Scouts BSA. The word boy has even been expunged from the organization's promotional materials, replaced with the word youth, as in, for more than 100 years, scouting programs have instilled in youth the values found in the Scout Oath. How and why the Boy Scouts have been brought down is a case study in how the progressive left worms its way into an institution and hollows it out until there's nothing left but a shell. The Boy Scouts were an easy target, wholesome, patriotic, and above all, male. Feminist and gay advocacy groups started suing the organization for its failures of inclusivity. In 2015, the Scouts dropped its ban on openly gay scoutmasters. Trans Scouts came next. In 2019, Scouts admitted girls.
Okay, I just want to point this out here. This had nothing to do with diversity and inclusiveness. It had nothing to do with it. If it did, they would have forced the Girl Scouts to do the exact same thing, which they did not. This whole dismantling of the Boy Scouts was for the sole purpose of promoting the narrative that being born a boy means you're born with some kind of inherent evil that you have to atone for. But in reality, men are the ones who built the world we are living in today. Your houses are built by men. Your buildings are built by men. Your sewers are managed by men. Men built the world we are living in today. And we are not getting any credit for it. Instead, we are being told on a regular basis, we need to do more, when we have really done enough. We honest to God have.
Within short order, the Scouts had hired its first Chief Diversity Officer and Vice President of Diversity and Inclusion. Scout CEO Roger Crone summed up the rebranding perfectly. He told the Associated Press that the name change, Boy Scouts of America to Scouts BSA, sends the message that everyone can bring their authentic self and be welcomed. All this has happened when the need to valorize males or merely acknowledge their existence is greater than ever. But of course, that was the idea, to emasculate the Boy Scouts. What could be more frightening than an organization that aspires to create good men?
All right, I'm going to have to completely agree with her on this, because when you actively do the research, it doesn't matter which way you look at things. Addressing the problems that men are going through here in the West as a direct result of the feminist movement is literally the only real way to stabilize the economy. It really is. For examples, men make gold valuable because jewelry was a product that was manufactured since the time of ancient Egypt for the sole purpose for women to attract men. Men make makeup valuable because makeup was a product that was manufactured since the time of ancient Egypt for women to attract men. Men make perfume valuable because perfume was a product that was manufactured since the time of ancient Egypt for women to attract men. Men make diamonds valuable because men used to, here in the West, would purchase diamonds to propose to their lady. None of this is sexist, by the way. This is a case study of cause and effect when supply is high but demand is low. That's what this is.
The Boy Scouts were founded in the early 20th century. The British war veteran Robert Baden-Powell despaired at the lost boys he saw in London's slums, seemingly deficient in the Victorian virtues of honesty, hardiness, and self-reliance. Baden-Powell envisioned an organization that would combine boys craving for heroism with a code of chivalry, wrapped in the lore of the outdoors. He and his North American counterparts understood masculinity as self-sacrificing and ennobling. Chief Scout Citizen Theodore Roosevelt reminded the American Boy Scouts in 1915 that manliness in its most rigorous form can and ought to be accompanied by unselfish consideration for the rights and interest of others. The value of an all-boys organization was self-evident to the Boy Scouts founders and to the Scout leaders who followed them. Masculine comradeship underlies males' willingness to undertake military and civic sacrifice. Boys compete with one another, torment one another, but also elevate one another. They seek adult males to emulate, ideally their fathers, but in the absence of their own father, a father figure embodying masculine virtue. That father figure can even be imaginary. Boys' aspirations are fired by tales of male courage and the accomplishment of great feats. Today, American boys are plagued by fatherlessness.
Okay, I can definitely see where she is coming from on this. I can definitely see it. Due to the fact that this is probably the biggest reason why women are being drafted into the military right now here in the West. Because we cannot draft men into the military right now due to the fact that, historically speaking, drafting people into the military who have never been given a legitimate reason to stay loyal once they've been drafted has historically proven to be an act of suicide, which is the situation we're in right now, due to the fact that, as a direct result of the feminist movement, men here in the West are being told relentlessly since the day they're born that if you're born a man, you're born with some kind of inherent evil you have to atone for. This is not sexist, anybody. This is history. After all, what do you think was going to happen when so many women in droves were constantly promoting this narrative that we don't need men anymore, men are useless, men only want one thing, men should just leave, the future is female? Well, guess what, ladies? You got what you wanted. I hope you're happy.
Whereas in the early 20th century, boys lost their biological fathers to war, industrial accidents, and tuberculosis, now they lose them to parental irresponsibility. In 2022, 40% of all American children were born to single mothers. Black newborns faced a catastrophic 69% illegitimacy rate, while more than 53% of Hispanic children were born to unmarried females. Whites had a 27% illegitimacy rate. The rate among the white underclass is twice that. Boys suffer the most in the typical fatherless household, with its lack of structure, parade of shiftless boyfriends, and inconsistent discipline. There are exceptions to this chaos, of course. The disintegration of the family coincided with the devalorization of males, making the possibility of even a symbolic father figure remote. Positive male characters in television and movies have, more often than not, been replaced by dolts and abusers. Feminism was zero-sum. It championed females by tearing males down. The concept of toxic masculinity was active decades before the American Psychological Association declared traditional masculinity a malady. Civilization creating traits such as competitiveness, stoicism, and the desire to provide for others, the APA declared, were not behaviors to be promoted, but to be fearful of. One can guess what Teddy Roosevelt would have thought of all this. He and Baden-Powell wanted to equip boys with a timeless code of selfless values to help turn boys into good men worthy husbands and fathers. No one thinks of asking the Girl Scouts to sacrifice the word girl in the name of inclusivity, nor end its all-girl membership rules. Only men are called upon to cancel their presence and their traditions.
All right, there you go, everybody. They're not making the Girl Scouts do the exact same thing, literally proving that this was never about diversity and inclusiveness. It was about villainizing men. In case you guys are wondering why so many men, including myself, are becoming passport bros, here's another reason for you. I have nothing against women. Nothing. I am saying that what the feminist movement is promoting right now has historically been a horrific and appalling practice. I would rather get a wife from overseas than have anything to do with it. Now, that's all I got time for today. If you like this content, by all means, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. It really helps us out. It really does. To all you men out there, you guys keep at it, okay? Keep at it, men. You're doing great.